Hey guys, James Reid with TTR Sotheby's International Realty here covering DC, Northern Virginia, and the Maryland suburbs. Today we're going to be going over the June housing market update and what it means for you if you're looking to buy, sell, maybe wait, or even invest. We're going to go over the leading market indicators for the areas we serve, which are specifically DC, Montgomery County, and in Northern Virginia they are Alexandria City, Arlington County, Fairfax City, Fairfax County, as well as Falls Church. And we're going to be going over a key metric that no one else is covering, so stick all the way to the end for that. Okay, getting into our first leading indicator, which is number of active listings on the market. And all three jurisdictions, as you can see here, are negative year over year, with DC being the closest to last year. Last month in May, DC was actually up 1%, so it has joined Maryland and Virginia having less inventory this year versus last year. Now, our next indicator, which is pendings, so that's properties under contract, those are all negative year over year, which should not be a surprise given the state of the current market with number of active listings being reduced. Okay, and our third leading indicator is closed deals, or the percentage thereof. And as you can see here, it is still negative year over year versus June of last year. But if we look at it against May, right, so month over month, it's actually improving. The deal flow is actually getting better for closed deals related to active listings. So I see that as a market improving, a little bit more reality, more than likely from sellers and buyers, because buyers are not jumping on every single property available. They're waiting for the good and great ones that are priced fairly, which we are seeing more of in the market right now. Okay, going into the next indicator, which is days on market. As you can see here, it's pretty flat compared to May. Virtually identical. Year over year, yes, it's worse than it was last year, but that was a ridiculous market going now into an unbalanced market on its way to a balanced market. So I look at this as a good indicator. Okay, so the next one, right? We've got days on market. Well, how close do we have deals closing to what their list price is, right? So the ratio of close to the original list price. Still very strong across the board, almost 100% in all jurisdictions, with DC being the laggard, the only one under 100%. So still very strong, but just know that that's not a true indicator of every property on the market. The ones that are in good or great condition, that are priced right, are getting multiple offers. They're going very quickly. The ones that are not in alignment with that, on average, are going between 90 and 95% of their current list price. So if you're not in alignment with this market, buyers don't care. They're not going to jump on your property. But if you are, then you are putting yourself in a very competitive place. I have clients that I'm consulting with right now in regards to their listing, and we are going to be very realistic with the market to bring in the most amount of buyers possible and to get, on average, a higher net for them than we would if we were overpricing the property and then trying to price down. Hey guys, if you're finding this content helpful in any way, do me a favor, hit the like button. That will help YouTube push this content out to more people just like you. Our next leading indicator is months of supply of inventory. Basically, if we look at the number of active listings on the market, and then we look at how quickly properties are going under contract, we can divide those two, and it'll tell us how many months of supply we have. And you can see here, DC changed significantly since May. It was at 3.5 months. Now it's down to 2.8 months, so roughly 10 weeks of inventory in DC. Both Montgomery County and Northern Virginia are still very tight, basically a month's worth of inventory, 4 weeks. That is, worse or better than it was a year ago, but it is still very much a seller's market, despite what's going on with interest rates. Interest rates ended May around 6.5%. They ended June 7% and above. So despite the Fed with raising interest rates, that is not slowing down the housing market here whatsoever, and it's only going to get tighter. And if you look here, year over year at the median single family home price, and you can see that is basically flatlined in Northern Virginia. It is up in Montgomery County, and it is down a little bit in DC. And I speak with builders all the time, and in Montgomery County specifically, where you can see that increase, they are slammed right now. Many of them are just busy for at least the next 6 to 10 months with projects. So the only thing that would help them is more labor, and we have a very tight labor market here. And as you can see here, it is not unique to just Montgomery County. Nationally, for the first time in almost a year, builders have a positive outlook of the housing market and what is moving forward. Okay, and getting into my favorite indicator on the market is percentage of cash deals. And I guess we can call this kind of an investor's index. If you look here, it's going to be stronger than it was a year ago. Roughly a year ago, it was about 1 out of every 6 deals. Now it's 1 out of every 4, 1 out of every 5. And I looked at the raw data in the MLS that we have here, and it's pretty much the same number of transactions this year that it was last year, but there are less deals going on. So what does that mean? That means that investors, builders, developers are still just as active this year as they were last year, and that even though that a lot of people are on the sidelines due to interest rates going up, they are not. They are still very active, and so we're going to see housing continue to go up in terms of pricing, in my opinion, regardless of the interest rates, right? People aren't going in developing these properties to sell them at or below what they paid for or invested in. So I see that as an indicator for housing to go up just on that alone. And as interest rates go down and the inventory becomes more available, more sellers finally start to let go of their lower interest rate mortgages, which they're not right now because interest rates are so high, because you wouldn't leave a low interest rate for a high. I see that to increase the price of housing as well. Okay, some key takeaways for you. We've got tight inventory here, and it's only going to get worse, right? May was very low inventory. It got tighter in June. I expect it to continue on throughout the rest of the summer. If you're a buyer in this market and you are using financing in any way whatsoever, get fully approved before you see your first house. Anything that is good or great condition in this market that is priced fairly will go at or above list price and will get multiple offers. So you need to be ready to go and be as competitive as possible. If you're a seller in this market, you need to have yourself squared away as well, right? Your property has to be good or great condition, priced fairly. Clients that I work with, we're doing that. We are going to get as much competition as possible from the start versus pricing too high and chasing the market down. If you are a builder, investor, developer, anything like that, it is a great time for you with the interest rates as high as they are, as long as you are bringing cash to the table. You've got tons of opportunities available for you in DC. You've got some in Northern Virginia as well. If you're a builder, you are just slammed right now, and I don't see that slowing up anytime soon. So if you guys have any questions about the market, what it means for you, your possible move here, strategies around you possibly listing your property in this area, if you have questions for me, feel free to reach out to me directly. My contact information is in the description box below. And until next time, I hope to see you around town.